This is our meeting agenda. We have welcome and the purpose, a vision statement, our focus problem, our 4 essential questions. Intervention 1, there'll be implementation of the Zoom phonics. Intervention 2, which will be implementation of the letter of the day activities. We'll do a review article, a pre-assessment data, post-assessment data, and possible next steps. And then I'll be adding this link of our PLC to this PowerPoint. So when we start the PLC, I started with a vision statement. And my vision statement is ready to focus on building a love for reading, focusing on each child with a mindset of success in the attainment of pre-literacy skills to enhance their future educational endeavors, focusing to strengthen the already present skills and support the growth and development of newly acquired skills, focusing on supporting each child as an individual with an open mind, guiding their journey one step at a time, one story at a time. So when looking at our students, there's a concern for their pre-literacy skills, and that's going to be our focus problems. That students in the classroom, they're struggling with pre-literacy skills with a specific focus on identifying letters and letter sounds. So that's what we want to address, and that's what I have included in my PLC. So the 4 essential questions, and this is just the 4 essential questions I'm going to go on, and because I've answered after each one. What do we want our students to learn? We want students to develop effective pre-literacy skills. Our first focus will be on letter identification and letter sound identification. How we know our students have learned what we want them to learn. Students will demonstrate an increase in letter recognition and letter sound recognition, as evidenced by an increase in the number of correct letters identified and correct number of letters and sounds identified. The students will be given formal assessment of letter identification and letter sound identification prior to the implementation of 2 intervention strategies and at the completion of both intervention strategies. So as we do in here, we'll do our letters and we'll also do letter sounds before we implement any Zoom phonics or letter of the day. How we want them to learn. We want them to learn through activities that are hands-on, engaging, playful, and meaningful to them. The students will improve their letter identification skills and letter sound identification skills by participating in specific intervention activities and strategies that are identified. This will be completed through intentional planning, preparing, and providing students with materials and activities that will support and enhance their letter recognition and letter sound recognition skills. How we enrich those students who have already learned what we need them to learn. If they can correctly identify all letters and letter sounds, we'll be giving them more challenging lessons of pre-literacy skills. We'll work on print awareness and sight word activities, and those will be for our students who show success when we are checking on the letter sounds and the letter identification. The first intervention is Zoom phonics, and why we want to use Zoom phonics, it's a multisensory language arts program, and it's going to help the students see and understand language patterns. We're going to incorporate body movements for each animal letter, supporting students' enhanced phonemic awareness. It teaches short vowel before long vowels, and it's engaging to the students. So we're going to continue with the intervention. We're going to implement the materials and activities daily in the classroom. These are some of the activities that I've found in the classroom that appear to work and be engaging and enhance their skills. The Zoom phonics videos, which will be located on YouTube, there's a variety of them, so it doesn't become stale from continuing with the same video. Games and activities, Zoom phonics word walls, the Zoom phonics letter cards, and implement those daily. As I said, there's numerous videos on YouTube. There's animal movements and sounds for each animal and letter sound. And as the students are asked to identify letters and perform the animal movements, they also hear the sound in the video. So examples of activities would be Zoom phonics bingo. There's already bingo cards ready in the kits. The letter card squat letter sound activity you can use with students. You can give them like fly squats and lay the cards down on the table 3-4 at a time with 2 to 3 students. And when they hear the correct letter or letter sound that you're asking for, they will identify it by squatting it on the table. And they seem to like this game. It was very interactive. Zoom phonics letter and letter sound matching activities. The letter cards will be used to match correct sounds, movements, and letters. The Zoom phonics word walls. The letters can be placed on the word wall, and cards with the Zoom phonics animals can be used to match the correct ones. You can ask questions, letter identification, sounds, new words beginning with the same sound or letter, and perform the movements of the letter animals when making the letter sound. There's a lot of activities you can include in that, and you can vary these. The second intervention is the letter of the day instructional strategies. And why letter of the day? It provides students with specific letter and sound focus, comparison to other letters, lines, curves, provides specific words or pictures of words with the same initial letter, provides salient feature descriptions of letter writing. It supports enhanced alphabetic knowledge instruction, promotes finding letters in text, promotes repetition and practice, and it's engaging to the children. So we want to make sure that instead of doing a letter of the week, we have found that doing a letter of the day is much better for the students to do comparison between two letters, which seems to enhance and engage them even more, and it seems to be retained more easily. This is just a picture of some of the materials that are included. By implementing the letter of the day within the classroom, you're going to use letter cards, word picture cards, games and activities, songs, rhymes, writing cards. There's sentence strips that you can also let them make words, practice writing uppercase and lowercase. It shows how you would form the mouth for the sounds. And the implementation of the letter of the day instruction would be you're going to introduce them, show them the sound cards. You can also add the mail-ups, which we have been using, and you're going to put postcards that begin with a specific letter that you're focusing on. And the children can pick and choose who checks the mail each day, and the postcards with the initial letter, they can help identify the sound, the letter, and the picture. So it has picture cues on those. So for letter comparison, you're going to compare the features, lines, curves, vertical, horizontal, and just like for example, we used an A and O, those are totally different, and the children can make a good comparison of those, and they're easily identified. So some examples of games and activities is a letter hunt, small group, large group, free play. You're going to hide letters, maybe the letter of the day, the two letters that you use for comparison, and you're going to ask the students to hunt for a letter in different areas, in a sensory box, just where we can do to get that hunt in with the students and that they can identify the letter sound, the letter, and maybe a word or a picture that would go with it. The letter in text activity is where you can use a dry erase pocket. They can circle specific letters that you're looking for and tell you when they find it. They can count them so you can include little math in there. The writing strips that you can use during a free play small group or the writing center, you're going to use dry erase writing strips and place them in the pockets. They can practice writing the letter of the day on the card. If they know some words or even some friends' names, they can write those on there for practice. Your rhymes and songs, just to reinforce letter sounds identification. That's just another way to enhance their learning. And this article, if you want to read it at a later time, it's just talking about enhancing alphabet knowledge instruction, that research and strategies for early childhood since we are preschool. We want to make sure that we're supporting it by peer-reviewed articles. This is prior to intervention strategies. These are the 10 students. These are the number of letters they were able to identify and the letter sounds identified. And I had one student that had an IEP for the developmental way. So this is going to be after or post. And you see the same students were checked again. As you can see, there was an increase in the letters identified and the letter sounds identified. And it is normal in preschool for the letter sounds to be identified at times before the actual letter themselves. So we can see improvement. This was over a 2-week period. We did find improvement by using this, and that's why when, for instance, PLC again support for it. The next steps are the data from the pre-intervention strategies and post-intervention strategies indicate that there was improvement over the 2-week period with daily inclusion of the intervention strategies in the classroom. And the next steps would be to continue these interactions to foster and enhance preschool literacy skills. And as the students master these skills, we're going to continue planning to include activities to continue more complex pre-literacy skills and provide a solid foundation for future readers. And then, of course, our finishing will be where we add this video to be viewed and to see how well we do with our PLC. So if you have any questions or have any input, just let me know. We can include those or we can make changes. But thank you for being part of our PLC. If you want to stop.